Season 1. The Catalyst. Walt and Jesse start cooking meth in an old RV in the desert. Their first attempt at selling goes horribly wrong when their distributor, Crazy 8, attempts to kill them. In self-defense, Walt kills Crazy 8 and his cousin, marking his first act of violence. Unable to afford cancer treatment, Walt rejects financial help from his wealthy friends and insists on cooking meth. As his family pressures him into surgery, Walt creates the ruthless alter ego Heisenberg to deal with violent distributor Tuco Salamanca. As Season 1 ends, Walt is in remission but tells Skylar the money is from gambling, hiding his double life. Season 2. Escalation. Walt and Jesse scale up their operation, stealing a large amount of methylamine to create the famous blue meth. They begin working through Tuco, but his violent nature forces Walt to kill him in a shootout. They then partner with Saul Goodman, a sleazy criminal lawyer who connects them to mysterious fixer like Herman Trout. Walt's lies strain his marriage. Skylar becomes suspicious and begins an affair with her boss, Ted. Jesse falls in love with his landlord, Jane, a recovering addict. After Jane discovers Walt's secret and threatens to expose him, Walt does nothing to save her when she chokes on her vomit during a drug overdose. She dies in front of a devastated Jesse. As a result of Jane's death, her grieving father inadvertently causes a horrific mid-air collision over Albuquerque. Walt watches the plane crash on his birthday, realizing everything happening is his fault. Season 3. New Horizons. Walt now works for Gus Fring, a sophisticated and ruthless drug kingpin who disguises himself as a fast food chicken restaurant owner. Gus offers Walt a state-of-the-art underground superlab with a quiet, efficient assistant, Gail Bowditcher. Feeling replaced, Walt forces Jesse back into the business. However, Jesse's attempt to murder two street dealers to avenge a murdered child backfires. In the season's most shocking moment, Walt runs over the dealers with his car and executes the surviving one point blank, telling Jesse, "Run." Gus decides that Walt must die for breaking their arrangement. To save Walt, Jesse executes the innocent Gail, making them both fugitives from Gus and full-time partners in crime. Season 4. The Chess Match with Gus. Walt technically works for Gus, but Gus plans to replace him with Jesse, whom Gus sees as more loyal. Gus turns Jesse against Walt by threatening Walt's family. Meanwhile, Gus systematically eliminates the entire Mexican cartel, poisoning all its leadership during a dramatic meeting. Realizing Gus will murder his family as soon as he can, Walt orchestrates a desperate plan. He poisons Jesse's girlfriend, Andrea's young son, Brock, to frame Gus for the crime. Enraged and thinking Gus hurt a child, Jesse turns against Gus and sides with Walt. Walt convinces Hector Salamanca, a paralyzed ex-cartel don who hates Gus, to detonate a bomb strapped to his wheelchair in Gus's nursing home. The bomb kills Gus, and Walt triumphantly walks out of the lab, telling Skylar on the phone, "I won." Season 5A. The Kingpin's Reign. With Gus dead, Walt becomes the new drug kingpin. He partners with Jesse and Herman Trout to take over Gus's distribution network. The trio pulls off a risky train heist to steal a massive amount of methylamine, eliminating witnesses. As money piles up, Walt's ego explodes. He refuses to leave the business despite having millions of dollars. When Mike decides to retire and pay off his men, Walt kills Mike in a fit of rage but then realizes he could have simply gotten the names from Lydia. To cover his tracks, Walt orders a prison hit on Mike's 10 imprisoned associates, all killed within 2 minutes. Walt's transformation is now complete. He is a ruthless drug lord. Meanwhile, Hank discovers Walt is Heisenberg after finding Walt's copy of Leaves of Grass in the bathroom, inscribed with Gail's dedication to his other favorite W.W. Season 5B. To follow Ozymandias, Hank arrests Walt in the desert, but as he does, Walt's white supremacist associates Jack and his gang ambush them and murder Hank. Walt begs Jack to spare him, offering all his money, $80 million, but Jack takes most of the cash and leaves Walt one barrel. A broken Walt forces his family into hiding. His son Walt Jr., now knowing the truth, despises him. Skylar threatens Walt with a knife in the struggle. Walt Jr. calls 911 and Jackie takes baby Holly. Walt kidnaps Holly but later leaves her at a fire station before calling Skylar to confess the truth and take full responsibility, clearing Skylar of any legal blame. Walt leaves his family in ruins and goes into hiding in a remote cabin in New Hampshire, using a new identity provided by Saul Goodman, surviving on his own for months. Season 5 finale, Felina. Months later, Walt returns to Albuquerque for revenge. He builds a remote-controlled machine gun in his car trunk. After saying goodbye to Skylar and leaving her the coordinates of Hank and Steve's graves to bargain for her freedom, Walt goes to Jack's compound. Using his remote weapon, Walt massacres Jack's gang. He kills Jack personally and watches Jesse strangle Todd. Jesse refuses to kill Walt and instead leaves him mortally wounded by a ricochet from his own gun. Walt walks through the meth lab he built, touching the equipment one last time. Police sirens wail. He collapses and dies on the floor of the lab as the police surround him. The final shot of the series is an extreme close-up of the blue meth as Walt's empire finally falls. Meanwhile, Jesse speeds away in the stolen El Camino, screaming in fury and freedom, escaping to an unknown future. My opinion and overall conclusion: bilingual. Final thoughts on Breaking Bad. Looking back at Walter White's entire journey, I still can't stop admiring how brilliantly this series shows the transformation of an ordinary man into a monster. And it's not about money, not about cancer, and not even about drugs. For me, Breaking Bad is first and foremost a story about ego, about how we justify our darkest desires with noble intentions. In the beginning, I genuinely sympathized with Walt, a bullied teacher, sick, humiliated by his former colleagues. I'm doing this for my family sounds convincing, but by season 3, it becomes obvious. If he really cared about his family, he would have accepted Elliot's deal in season 1, gone for free chemotherapy, not blown up Tuco's hideout. No. Walt needed self-respect, a sense of greatness that he couldn't get in a high school classroom. For me, the most powerful moment is not the finale, but the scene in the basement when Walt watches Jane die. From that moment on, he stops being a good guy in a bad situation. He becomes Heisenberg. As for Jesse, he is the broken heart of the entire show. Pinkman goes through hell, loses everyone he loves, yet still keeps the ability to suffer and feel empathy. He is the moral compass, constantly broken, but still pointing north. When he drives away in that El Camino in the finale, I didn't feel relief. I felt emptiness. That guy will never forget what he saw. Flaws? In my opinion, yes. Some storylines drag, especially the domestic drama with Ted Bennick in season 3, a bit boring. Also, the show is sometimes too slow, but that's not the writer's fault. It's the genre. Some people find the tension building for me. Occasionally I just wanted to skip. The main question Breaking Bad leaves you with: does a person become a monster gradually, or were they always one, just without the opportunity? Walt himself answers that in the final scene with Skylar. I did it for me. I liked it. I was alive. That's the whole answer. Final rating: 10/10 without a single doubt. The best drama series I have ever seen. It doesn't entertain. It turns you inside out. Everyone over 20 should watch it, and then rewatch it 5 years later to see how you've changed. You've changed.